Welcome to Stanford's press conference. Stanford's sports information contact is Wilder Treadway. Before we get started, let me remind everyone to please turn off cell phones during news conferences. Additionally, flash photography is not permitted. Joining us on the podium today are head coach Tara Vanderveer and student athletes Kiki Iriafin, Alyssa Jerome, and Hannah Jump. We'll start with questions for these student athletes. As a reminder, please state your name and affiliation at the beginning of your question. And please limit yourself to one question, at most one follow-up. If you're on the Zoom call, please use the raise hand function, and I will call on you if time permits.
Question for the players. Ben Parker, CardinalSportsReport.com. You guys just talk about a little bit about what you know about the Jayhawks so far, and just kind of what your initial kind of impressions are of them, if anything.
Yeah, so we know that they're definitely a really strong team. We know they're really aggressive, really well-rounded, have great shooters and great drivers, big inside presence. So we'll really need to play strong against them for sure.
Yeah, same thing. We know we have to win the battle of the boards, so taking care of that tomorrow will be big.
Yeah, Hannah, they got a big girl in the middle that can swat shots away. General statement on the guards taking to the hoop tomorrow.
Yeah, we're just going to have to pay attention to the scout, know our personnel, know who the drivers, who the shooters are, and, we'll hone in on that and we'll be ready to go.
Ben Parker, CardinalSportsReport.com. Hannah, you shot 5 of 11 from the field yesterday, and all 11 of those shots were threes. Just talk about kind of your kind of shooting mentality and just only taking threes, how that feels for you and everything. You made them, so it was fine. But just, it's kind of interesting stat line. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I know I have the confidence in my coaches and my teammates, and everyone keeps telling me to shoot. So if I'm open, I'm going to let it fly. And, my teammates are really good at getting me the ball when in positions that I'm able to score. So, yeah.
John Reed, Lawrence Journal World, something like that. Kiki, was the reaction to Believy's dunk choreographed, or was that improv?
Improv, all natural. That was my general reaction to what happened. My chest was like beating. My heart was beating out of my chest. That was totally real.
Yeah, I think a bunch of us were all just in shock that she really just did that. So we were all super excited for her, and everyone was freaking out on the bench. We were told we had to sit down, so we were all sitting on each other, and no one had seats. So it was really exciting.
Ben Parker, CardinalSportsReport.com. So question for the players is, how much does it help to have won the Pac-12 tournament coming into the NCAA tournament, kind of already having kind of gone through kind of a recent kind of tournament mode and beating quality competition? Just how much does having a conference tournament before the NCAA's help, especially when you've won the tournament as well?
Yeah, I think it's given us a lot of confidence. We played a lot of really talented teams in the tournament, and each one has kind of prepared us differently for teams that we're going to face. I think winning that is definitely giving us confidence for this tournament.
Yeah, I would just add, playing in the Pac-12, you're playing against a top 25 team basically every night, so it really helps prepare us for what's to come in the NCAA tournament. We know that we really have to hone in on scouts and stuff like that, so having the tournament right before this, I think we're really locked in.
Yes, just to add on, I feel like we just became hyper-focused, and having a tournament atmosphere before the actual big tournament just helped prepare us for the NCAA.
Hannah, Kansas has some quick guards, and I think that was a factor yesterday. Can you give me a general statement on their backcourt?
Yeah, like we said, they have a lot of really good shooters, a lot of really aggressive drivers. So just knowing the scout, knowing who you're defending, we'll watch a lot of film and we'll be ready for that.
Kind of a fun question for Kiki. You attempted a dunk earlier this year, it didn't go in. But obviously, I admire that you can throw it down, you can't dunk it. So did seeing Fran do that kind of inspire you to, if given the right chance, to do it at some point?
Definitely inspiring. Like, Fran is amazing, such a great role model for me. besides like dunking and everything. But we'll see, maybe next season. But I'm just really excited to be in this position and be on a championship-winning team. Yeah.
It's coming one day for Kiki. It's coming.
Yeah, just in general, just kind of a random kind of question. Do you guys know what a Jayhawk is? You guys are the Cardinals, an interesting mascot. They're a Jayhawk. Do you guys know what a Jayhawk even is? Or
I feel like some kind of bird.
Yeah, is it a
I don't
bird?
know.
Is it a bird?
my guess as well. As far as for Alyssa, yeah, just some kind of bird. For Alyssa and Kiki, what are kind of some? I know Hannah, you're a shooter. That's kind of your thing. You really focus on that. But for Alyssa and Kiki, haven't talked to you guys as much this year. Just what are kind of areas of growth for your game that you guys have kind of worked on this year, and where do you guys kind of see you guys have kind of grown over the course of the season?
I think I've just worked on being more efficient and giving all that I can in the minutes that I get, and just being very productive with what I'm given. So I think one thing that I've really focused on is like finishing inside, trying to rebound more, and something that I'm still trying to work on is having better defense and being able to guard like 4s and 5s as well.
Yeah, I think for me, just kind of being versatile, whether I'm needed at like the 3 or the 4, even yesterday the 5, just kind of expanding my skill set in that way, and then just kind of like Kiki said, being ready when I'm needed to guard players as well, hit my open shot, rebound, stuff like that.
CardinalSportsPart.com. I keep saying that. For you, just in general, what is the challenge in playing a team for the first time all season, particularly a good team like, not that Montana State wasn't, they're 16. 8 seeds are, these are solid opponents. Just talk about seeing a team for the first time all year that you haven't seen in the non-conference or anything. Just kind of the unique kind of challenge that kind of poses.
Yeah, I think for the most part it poses a challenge on our coaches to kind of scout them. They do such a good job, getting us really prepared. So we've never seen this team before, but I feel already really prepared from just going through the scout of them, and just really kind of locking in today on their tendencies, knowing their personnel and kind of how we're going to guard them, their ball screens, things like that. So I think we'll be more than prepared for tomorrow.
Kind of keep rolling here. Ben Parker, CardinalSportsPart.com. Just how nice is it to even though it's 16 you guys are supposed to win all that, how nice is it to have a dominating win? How much kind of momentum does that kind of build, do you think, to kind of, and also too, just in general, I guess by getting the number 1 seed, you put yourselves in a position where you can have that kind of a dominating game to start. Just how much does it help to have a win like that to kind of open things up for the tournament?
Yeah, I think it feels pretty good. It gives us a lot of confidence, and we haven't played in a couple weeks, so just to be able to play again was really nice. But yeah, just kind of going forward, we know what we got to do, and we're just going to lock in on every single scout and every single team we play, and just take it one game at a time.
Yeah, and as you said, momentum, just like a big push heading into this tournament, which is what we're going to need.
For Alyssa and Hannah, how different did it feel to be playing in a postseason game on your home court in front of a crowd as opposed to last year in the bubble?
Yeah, I mean, for me, this is my first postseason tournament game, even at home, with my freshman season getting canceled. So it was, super, super cool atmosphere, and the fans were really great, super loud. The arena was packed, and, Fran's dunk erupted the place. So it was just super, super cool to be able to play in front of all your friends and family in this kind of level of competition.
And then one more, Hannah, we had the lights go out during Coach's press conference last night, and she joked that your shooting might have caused that. Did you feel in the zone last night?
Yeah, I felt good. I felt relaxed and just ready to shoot.
This is my last question. Ben Parker, CardinalSportsPart.com. I'm just saying as fast as I can. In terms of just tip-off times, like teams in turn, you don't know when you're going to play. Some teams play morning, some teams play night. You guys got a 7:00 p.m. tip-off yesterday, and you guys are going to have a 6:00 p.m. tip-off tomorrow. Just in general, is it nicer to have games later in the evening during a more kind of regular kind of game time versus like an 11 a.m., 12:30 kind of thing? Or does that just like not matter at all to you guys?
We're ready to go whenever.
Yeah, I would say it's probably nicer, more time to prepare, especially for a team we haven't seen before. But yeah, I think each player kind of has their preference, but I think in general we're ready to play whenever. So.
And we're used to like 7 p.m. tip-offs with Pac-12, so nothing new.
Now, Coach Vanderveer, you wanted to say something about the student athletes up here?
Well, I just wanted, usually I get a chance to talk about them before they're excused, and I wanted to bring Kiki today. She's a rising star as a freshman, for her to get used to this, because she's going to be at a lot of press conferences, and I know this is going to be kind of something really part of what she's doing. She's had a great freshman year. Loved her answers, Kiki. She gives us a really great presence inside, rebounds, runs the floor, really concentrates, a really hard worker, and she'll be here a lot more. Alyssa has done everything for our team. This is her last game in Maples, and I wanted her to be here today. She is kind of the heart and soul of our team, and how she knows all the plays. We call her Coach Jerome. She knows everything that we're doing. She has started for us. She's come off the bench. She's been on the scout team. She's done it all, and she does it all in the same way, just extremely mature, a great, great teammate, and someone that I'm going to really miss coaching. I'm really glad that she came back for a 5th year. We're going to try to keep it going. Hannah Jump had an outstanding game. She's had a fantastic season. Again, has started for us, comes off the bench, does whatever we need to do. I think she's one of the hardest workers, not just on our team, but in the country. She's in that gym early every day, working on her shot, working on her ball handling, and her defense has really improved. She's just an all-around great player. And for these 3 women, I think they represent our team really well. But I just wanted to give them extra shout out before they get back and get warmed up for our practice.
Thanks, Sarah.
I have no idea why this memory came to mind, but your last name is Jerome. Are you familiar with the phrase "send it in, Jerome," and where that comes from? Do you remember that at all?
No.
Look it up. Some guy threw it down for a dunk and send it in, Jerome. So there's some homework for you to look up. So send it in, Jerome. Maybe Tara can tell you.
Cool.
Thank you, Kiki, Alyssa, and Hannah. You can head back to the locker room.
Yeah.
We will now continue with questions for Coach Vanderveer. As a reminder, please state your name and affiliation at the beginning of your question.
Hey, Tara. Ben Parker, CardinalSportsReport.com. I asked the players a question, but I think for you as well, just your thoughts on Kansas, having seen them and watched them tape them. What are your kind of initial impressions of them and what they do well?
Well, you're exactly right. They're a really quality NCAA team, play in a great league. It feels like a lot of times we play a Big 12 game at this part of the tournament. We played at Kansas State. I don't know what year that was, 2017 maybe. We played Oklahoma State last year. So we know that they play in a great conference. They're a very talented team. And with any team, if you let a team do what they like to do, you're in trouble. So we have to really focus on things that will help our team be successful.
Hi, Tara. How you doing? Good luck.
Great.
They have a good big girl in the middle. Is that something you have to be conscious about, taking it inside?
Oh, well, definitely. She's one of the top shot blockers in the country. But I think that for our team, you have Cam that you play against every day in practice too. Ashton block shots, Kiki block shots. So it's not something that is like totally new. It's not like playing against something that you've never seen before. We went to South Carolina, they have a great shot blocker. We went to Tennessee, they have a great shot blocker. So we've played in our league. You've got 6, 7 players. So we're used to playing against it. But she does have a good knack for good timing, and it is something that our team is well aware of.
Ben Parker, CardinalSportsReport.com. Just in general, I asked Hannah the same question, but what is kind of your attitude on seeing a stat line of only 3-point shots from her? Does that, obviously she's making, you must be fine with it, but just kind of your thoughts on, do you want to see her maybe going inside more, or are you just cool with whatever kind of comes her way?
I think she's just trying to read the defense, whatever the defense gives her. If she's open, she's going to look for a 3. If people are coming out on her, she can put it on the floor and go to the basket. She's a very good passer. I think that she's expanded her game. She is not just a three-point shooter, but she's really working hard. She's getting on the O boards better. She's playing better defense, but her shot is special.
We'll go to Zoom for the next question. Cheryl, you should be able to unmute yourself and ask your question.
Cheryl Coward, hoopfeed.com. A lot of fans are happy with a lot of the first round upsets, especially at the hands of the mid-majors. What are your thoughts on the emerging parity? Is it exciting for you as well, looking at the landscape of women's basketball?
Thanks for the question, Cheryl. I really focus on our team and our bracket. I'm aware of the other scores, obviously, but I think being a 1 seed, I don't know that I get excited about upsets.
Yeah, Brandon Schneider was Coach of the Year in the Big 12. I think you were Coach of the Year, I do believe.
Yes, I was.
Congratulations. And talk about matching up against a young, up-and-coming coach, Brandon Schneider.
Well, as a young, up-and-coming coach, I'm excited about it. At this level, everyone, the teams are really talented and the coaches are really talented. So it's really, really for our staff to communicate to our team the things that are important for us to do, and then for our team to really go out and execute. We know that it will be a very challenging game. We know they're a very talented team. It's not going to get any easier. So whether it's this game or, hopefully we can, continue, but it doesn't get easier. It gets tougher and tougher every step. But our team has experience in, navigating these games, and we just have to continue to focus on what will help us be successful.
Ben Barker, CardinalSportsReport.com. Tara, just talk about, you've done this so many times, so long that, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a challenge for you maybe, but just talk about how is it different scouting a team for the first time, having not seen them all year, with a quick turnaround, just kind of what unique aspects of that does that kind of pose?
Well, the way I do it is when the bracket comes out, I look at the 3 teams in the bracket and try to establish on the very first day what are the similarities between all the teams, so you're working on things right from the get-go that will help you be successful against the one team you're playing and the other 2 that you could play. So, there are certain things you just have to do no matter who you're playing. And I would say, starting with rebounding, you've got to rebound the basketball. You've got to take care of the basketball. You can't turn it over. And last night's game, I thought we turned it over too much. But it's not like it's all fresh for me because I've been watching it all week, and we have the bracket divided up for scouting, as I'm sure Kansas and Georgia Tech and Montana State did too. But it is a little bit different style, a little bit different team because we haven't played them before. I don't know that we've ever played Kansas. I guess never, so it's a first time. But we know we will have to play well, and I feel like our team and our staff knows what we have to do. Of course, knowing it and doing it are 2 different things.
Coach, on the note of the Stanford-Kansas connection, the Stanford men's basketball team has some major connections with Kansas. Notably, Coach Haas is a Kansas alum. Have you talked with Coach Haas about who he's rooting for tomorrow?
I hope he's rooting for Stanford.
Once again, just on the home court advantage, just how much of a boost is that for you guys, especially in a 1-8 kind of match? Just how nice is it too? And just not just for helping win games, but just kind of helping the student athletes, having a couple of games at home. How much do you feel that kind of helps your teams?
Well, I feel like we've earned it. In the way the women's tournament works, the top 16 teams, in the same way that the NBA, we played a whole regular schedule. Everyone is not equal at this point. And I feel that we have earned that home court. And it is, it's nice to not have to travel. Maybe, you get to sleep in your own bed or, eat your own food, what you're used to. There's a comfort level. But at the same time, I think sometimes it also puts a little extra pressure on a team. And so we have gone on the road and won in front of crowds, and I'm sure Kansas has done that too. So, at this level of basketball, yes, there is maybe a certain home court familiarity and comfort, but you have to still put the work in. Home court does not make baskets for you. The crowd doesn't get any rebounds. They don't play any defense that I've seen. So you've got to do the right thing.
Ben Parker, CardinalSportsPart.com. Tara, I guess one of the other kind of areas of growth that you guys have had is your guard play. You guys don't have Kiana this year. Beginning of the year, that was seemed to be a bit of a struggle, but you guys seem to have kind of formed more of an identity in the backcourt. Can you just talk about how the growth you've seen from your team in that area over the course of the year?
That's your best question. I love it. I love answering it. Thanks for asking. I am so proud of the improvement that Lacey Hull, Anna Wilson, Jordan Hamilton, Haley Jones, Jana Van Geitenbeek, our guard core has made. Lexi helping handle the ball. Really everyone buying into the fact that we did lose an All-American in Kiana Williams. And, you know, it was a big adjustment in the beginning of the year. And we did play a very, very tough schedule when you're playing Texas, who's, you know, very aggressive defensive team, when you're playing at Gonzaga, which is a great program, when you're playing still in the tournament, when you, you know, go to Tennessee or South Carolina, teams that are, again, you're playing Indiana, all of these are tournament teams. You've got to have guard play. So we kind of, I think we front-loaded our schedule with really tough competition and threw our guards into the deep end of the pool. They got dunked a little bit, but they came up swimming, and they're doing really well.
Any last questions for Coach Vanderveer? Thank you, Coach.
All right, great. Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow.
A recording of this press conference will be available in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly. Thank you for joining us. Before we get started, let me remind everyone to please turn off your cell phones during news conferences. Additionally, flash photography is not permitted. Welcome to Kansas's press conference. Kansas sports information contact is Doug Self. Joining us on the podium are head coach Brandon Schneider and student athletes Zakaya Franklin and Ioana Hatzilioti. We'll start with questions for the student athletes. As a reminder, please state your name and affiliation at the beginning of your question, and please limit yourself to one question and at most one follow-up. If you're on the Zoom call, please use the raise hand function, and I will call on you if time permits.
Ben Parker, CardinalSportsReports.com. Question for the players, obviously, this is for you guys. Just talk about what do you guys know about Stanford so far, and just kind of the challenges that they pose, and yeah, that's the question.
So far, we know that they're a very balanced team, very versatile. They can score in a lot of different ways, so that's what we know so far.
Yeah, for Zakaya, John Reed, Lawrence, Journal World. Question. I thought your quickness was a difference last night. How important is guard play going to be to get a win over Stanford?
I think it's very important. Just honestly taking care of the ball against them, and paint possessions, paint touches equal positive possessions for us. So being able to get in the paint, that's going to be positive things for us.
Ben Parker, CardinalSportsReports.com. Just talk about playing on the road against an elite team like Stanford, the challenges kind of that aspect of it poses, and yeah, just having to go into an environment where a lot of fans and rooting against you, all that kind of stuff. And do you guys, do you guys enjoy that the kind of challenge that comes with that?
Honestly, like you just said, we're playing on their home court, a very hostile environment probably. So we're just gonna go into it like we went into all our other conference games. Nothing new to us. We're just going to be poised and play our game.
Yeah, Anna, you know who you're going to match up against yet? And give me a general statement on, your defensive end for tomorrow.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Do you know who you're matching up against? I mean, who you're going to guard and...
Yeah.
Haley
Jones.
You don't have to name it. I'm
yes,
sorry.
No, go ahead.
Are you going to guard Haley Jones?
Yeah, Haley Jones, Cameron Breen, great players, obviously.
Okay, yeah, general statement on guarding any of their players.
They're, both of them and all of the bigs are really good. They're great players. So, and just stop them, just gotta play defense and then help the team in that way.
From what I saw, you guys won pretty convincing last night over Georgia. I can't remember the exact final score, but it wasn't. You guys won pretty convincingly. Just how much does it help to not just get a win, but to win convincingly, kind of going into this kind of a matchup?
For us, we were just out there just trying to play our game and do what we do best, and whatever that gets us, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, we kept attacking the paint because just like KB said, paint touches equals something positive for us. So just keep attacking and play D.
So the only team to beat Stanford on this court so far this season is a team you're very familiar with in Texas. Did you watch that game? And if so, is there anything you picked up from that game that you think will help you tomorrow?
We're very familiar with, like you just said, that Texas was able to beat them. I'm pretty sure we all saw the game. And honestly, what we took from it was probably just how Texas is very aggressive defensively. So, yeah.
And then maybe one more for the student athletes. What would it mean for your program to beat Stanford and advance to the Sweet 16 tomorrow?
It will be something great. We just gotta play hard, be ourselves, and compete, have fun, because it's NCAA tournament. But it will be something great, something really good.
Okay, Zakiya, does the team believe they can beat Stanford?
Absolutely. We believe that we can beat Stanford. We're just going to go into the game, like I said before, just doing what we do best and taking it one possession at a time and focusing on that, honestly.
You know, you guys are in a different conference, but the Big 12 is a really strong conference as well. Kind of a similar kind of question I asked the players, but how much does Big 12 play, gone through a Big 12 tournament, all that kind of stuff, gone through a competitive league, how much does that kind of prepare you for a matchup like the one you're going to have tomorrow?
Like you said, Big 12 conference is a really tough conference. So I think having the chance to play against great teams in our conference and great players, I think it did prepare us for Stanford tomorrow actually.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Thank you, Zakiya and Ioana. You can head back to your locker room. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now we'll take questions for Coach Brandon. And as a reminder, please state your name and affiliation at the beginning of your question.
John Reed, Lawrence World Journal. Coach, can you, without giving the X's and O's, can you give me, say, 3 or 4 keys to victory tomorrow?
You know, I think you can't give Stanford baskets in transition, and you can't give them second chance points. I think they're elite offensive team. They're hard enough to guard in the half court, and if you give them, easy baskets in transition and then give them extra opportunities, I think that's a recipe for disaster.
Ben Parker, CardinalSportsReport.com. Hey, Coach, just kind of curious to get your thoughts on coaching against a legend like Tara Vanderveer, just how cool of an experience that is for you. And, yeah, just a chance to go up against an all-time great like that and just the challenge that poses.
Well, I think we have the utmost respect for her and the program, what she's built here and what has been sustained here for decades. I think, if you're smart, you try to emulate coaches like Coach Vanderveer and the way in which, she's built a program. I think in terms of during the game tomorrow, we'll have to make adjustments. Hopefully we play well enough that they have to make adjustments, but neither one of us is going to get a rebound or a basket. So at the end of the day, the players ultimately are going to decide the game, but without question, an honor to compete against one of the all-time greats, in basketball in general.
I don't know, either expect or hope, either one of the way, that it's a low-scoring game, or you want to control tempo, or how's that?
I think you have to be careful. I think we have to pick and choose opportunities to try to get easy baskets, but at the same time, turnovers and bad shots are going to ignite the break for Stanford. And, again, we do not want to have them running up and down the court on us in primary break situations.
Ben Parker, CardinalSportsReport.com. The players are still here. So can you talk about each of the players you brought today, what they each bring to the table, and why you brought them here today, and just, the growth that you've seen from them this year?
Zakiya Franklin has led our team in minutes for several years. The poise and composure with which she plays and leads our team are extremely valuable. She's a player that has, an ability to recognize, when she has to be more aggressive. There's games that she's taken over for us this year when maybe other teammates are struggling. And then, Ioana's, I think, little bit of a throwback, kind of the old school power forward. It's very crafty, can play away from the basket, can obviously score with her back to the basket. But I think, defensively, I don't know that she gets the credit that maybe she deserves. I think she's a very good one-on-one defender, but also her IQ allows her to really be a tremendous help defender.
How about just your general impression of Maple Pavilion as a venue? It seemed like the first game was a pretty tight rims. A lot of balls were bouncing in and out that looked like they might have been going on both teams. So,
I think it's an incredible facility. I really like the size of it, and I'm sure the atmosphere tomorrow evening will be electric. Any missed shots for us, I can't speak for any other team, but any missed shots that we might normally make yesterday were probably due to a bunch of young players playing in their first NCAA tournament and maybe some jitters initially.
Ben Parker, CardinalSportsSport.com. Kind of going off of that, how much does it help your team to have played in this venue before? Just is it nice to kind of, you kind of learn the walls a little bit and kind of the tweaks of the court and things. Just how much does that kind of help?
I think we've been here several days now, and I think just being in a routine for teams and for athletes is very important. I think we've had 2 practices, a shoot around, a game. We'll have another shoot around tomorrow, so I think that's beneficial in just being getting accustomed to your surroundings.
I'll ask the same question I asked the player. Do you think you could beat Stanford?
I think that you have to have a lot of confidence and belief in any competition you're going into. But I think the thing that I really respect about our team is they've had great humility and maturity all year long in understanding that to have success, they have to prepare the right way. And if they prepare the right way, then they'll position themselves to play well and give themselves a tremendous chance to be successful.
Ben Barker, CardinalSportsSport.com. Kind of more of a broad kind of question. Kansas men's basketball, as has been elite for a long time, a tradition. Kansas women's basketball hasn't been that same kind of level the men's have, but just talk about how much of an inspiration the men's program is and kind of how maybe having an elite men's program can help build an elite women's program at Kansas in the future.
I think basketball is a really big deal, not only in Lawrence, Kansas, but in the Midwest. And, to be able to look up to and admire, what Coach Self and all the coaches before him have been able to build at KU is incredible. It definitely sets the bar very high. Our goals currently are to try to become a consistent participant in this tournament. And once we do that and can claim that, then obviously, we'll have some higher aspirations.
Any more questions for Coach? Thank you, Coach Brandon.
Thank you.
A recording of this press conference will be available in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly. Thank you for joining us.